Okay, I'm back. It's day 2 of making videos. I'm not gonna make them every single day, but this is just, I just wanted to make this video. I was just thinking about it today in class and everything. But anyway, it's basically, the premise of this video is about Spider-Man Brand New Day. And it's just what I think this movie, how it's gonna perform, just discuss some theories that I've heard online, and what I think is actually gonna happen in the movie. Okay, so basically, the entire premise for Spider-Man Brand New Day is Peter. It's basically Peter trying to rebuild his life, trying to get back with MJ, and trying to be friends with Ned again, and all that stuff. And apparently, after about a certain early point in the movie, there's about a 5-year time jump. So Peter at the beginning of the movie is 17 years old, and then there's a huge time jump, and he goes all the way to 22 years old. And if you've seen any of the trailers or anything, the scene where they're at the party, Peter's 22 in that. That's after the 5-year time jump. But basically, I've seen many theories online. Chicken nuggets are good. I've seen many theories online about Peter becoming Man-Spider from TV shows, comics, all that. And I'm really curious what I myself think about it. Personally, I don't think that's what this movie is going to be about. I think this movie is really just going to be about Peter trying to rebuild his life. And maybe, I don't know, maybe he gets into MJ back by the end of the movie. I don't know if they're going to make another Spider-Man movie after this and that's what it's going to be about, or this is going to be just a standalone 3-hour long of Peter getting his life back. Basically, I've seen many Man-Spider videos because of the mutations that Peter is experiencing in his DNA. He's had black eyes. He's had organic webbing. He's waking up in cocoons. His body is mutating, as they say in the trailers. And there's a scene where he goes to Bruce Banner to discuss about it because Bruce Banner was obviously Hulk. And Peter, basically, in summary, is trying to go to Bruce Banner to learn how to control this mutation. And obviously, Bruce Banner would be the best at that. However, maybe Savage Hulk has something to do with this because everyone to ever exist, their mind was wiped with Peter Parker, except for Savage Hulk. Because Smart Hulk was alive during that time, and technically Savage Hulk was, I guess you could say, dead. He was no longer in existence. But somehow Bruce Banner converted back to normal Hulk. So that would be the only person who would be able to remember Peter Parker as Spider-Man. So maybe he has something to do with this movie. But, however, I also saw online that Peter and Savage Hulk never had an interaction. They were never even in the same movie. Like Infinity War, they were in the same movie, but Hulk got defeated by Thanos on a Asgard ship, and Spider-Man was on a bus in New York. So they never interacted, unless there was a moment off screen that they never showed us. Maybe. But I don't know. I really have no idea what this movie is going to be about. I think it could be one of 3 things. And technically, the first thing has to do with the second and third. But the first thing could be a standalone thing, while the other 2 are just sort of additions. The first one is that this movie is literally just about Peter trying to build his life back. No, nothing crazy. He's literally just trying to build his life back with these new characters he's going against. Also, the Punisher and Sadie Sink is in this movie, and many people believe that Sadie Sink is Jean Grey, which I thought was crazy. I thought she was going to be Gwen Stacy. But apparently not. Apparently she's going to be Jean Grey, a new version of Jean Grey, maybe from another universe, maybe. I don't know. Well, actually, no, because there is no Jean Grey in the MCU, technically, yet. That's from the Fox universe. But anyway, that first plot could just have to do with him rebuilding his life back with all these new characters. You know, it's just a fun movie, like Homecoming, sort of like Homecoming. Like, just think of this movie as Homecoming, basically, but as in Brand New Day. And the second option would have to do with Man-Spider. He's mutating, he's growing, he's changing, and he's trying to stop these changes. So he goes to Bruce Banner about it to try to fix all these changes, and that's the premise of the movie, which I don't really think that is, but I have seen many people think that. Maybe that there could be a little plot in there for it, but I don't think it'll be the entire theme of the movie. And then the third has to do with Savage Hulk, which also technically has to do with the second one. These are just theories that I've heard online, but some people think that Peter is going to turn into Man-Spider, and Savage Hulk is going to come back, and they're going to, you know, duke it out. Personally, give me Man-Spider on that, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's just, I don't even know. Like, I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's just going to be about Peter trying to get his life back. And sure, he's going to have some of those mutations, but I don't think he's going to turn into Man Spider. But he will be going through changes. He'll be getting stronger. He'll be getting heightened senses, and stuff like that. Now, how I think the movie is going to perform, I think this movie will be a 10 out of 10. I think by the end of it, this could be a top 5 MCU movie. If all goes well. In no particular order, Infinity War, Endgame, Civil War, Winter Soldier, maybe Ragnarok, but maybe Brand New Day. You never know. I think I'm going to have Brand New Day over No Way Home. I've always been a sort of No Way Home, not hater. I liked No Way Home, but I feel like the first half of No Way Home was better than the second half. Before Toby and Andrew came in, I thought the first half was better. I just enjoyed it more. I loved when all the villains were coming in, but when Toby and Andrew came in, and don't get me wrong, Toby's my goat. Toby's my goat Spider-Man. But I just thought it was fan service, and there was no point in doing that. I thought having the villains there was fun. But also, there wasn't enough time with Toby and Andrew. There was only like 45 minutes left in the movie when Andrew came in. So, yeah. I think Brand New Day, if all goes well, is going to perform great. I think this is going to be a really long movie. I think it's going to be about 2.5 hours long bro, sorry about that. Give me a second. I think this movie is going to be 2.5 hours long of Peter just trying to rebuild his life back together. You know, trying to make old connections, trying to build a new life, getting new jobs, going to Bruce Banner about his mutations. But I don't think he'll turn into Man Spider. I'm trying to think if there's any points I left out on. No, nothing to do with Brand New Day. That's basically my opinions on Brand New Day. I think Brand New Day will be an amazing movie. I think it's going to be great. Do I think it'll be better than Doomsday? Maybe. I think it has potential to be better than Doomsday. Because this is going to be the first thing. I'm a Homecoming lover. And if this is anything like Homecoming, but just better, chef's kiss. I will love this movie. And also I've heard people say that if MJ and Ned and all them remember Peter, that this movie will suck. Because the entire point of No Way Home, there would be no point to it. I don't think that's true. I think, maybe not in this movie, but maybe if there's another Spider-Man movie, Ned and MJ need to remember who Peter is. Because we don't, sure, it's a sacrifice. It is one of the greatest sacrifices in all of fiction. But that is a pitiful life to live. That is terrible. That is horrible. We don't want Peter to live like that. We want Peter to live a happy life. And I want Ned and MJ to come back to him. I don't want them to forget who he is. Maybe it's not in this movie. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. We'll see. Maybe it's in the next. But yeah. Also, Punisher's in this movie. And like I said, Sadie Sink as Jean Grey. I thought she was going to be Gwen Stacy. But apparently not. So we'll see what they do with that. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else I've left out. No, all the villains, plot points, everything. Yeah. So I think that's pretty much everything covered for my prediction / I guess review of No Way Home so far. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you actually stayed this long, thank you for watching, and see you next time.